so that we can convert our text into speech. It is a very easy to use tool which converts the entered text into speech. So it supports two voices, one for male and one for female, which is provided by SAPI 5. So it supports three TTS engines. TTS means text to speech, SAPI 5 on Windows, and NS Speech Synthesizer on macOS, and eSpeak on every other platform. So for now you just understand what is the purpose of these libraries, and how we will see in the practical. So how to install this PyTTSS3 module? You have to open your terminal and run this command pip install PyTTSS3 to install this library. And if you get any errors, so you need to additionally install this thing. Now the second library which we will use is the speech recognition. All of the magic in speech recognition happens with the recognizer class. So which means that we will be using this class to convert to recognize our speech. The primary purpose of the recognizer instance is of course to recognize speech. Each instance comes with a variety of settings and functionality for recognizing speech from an audio source. So our audio source will be a microphone. Each recognizer instance has 7 methods for recognizing speech from an audio source using various APIs. So it has 7 methods and each method has its own functionality, and these are these 7 methods which you can use for recognizing your speech. So we will use recognize dash Google, this method for which is a Google Web Speech API to recognize our speech. All 7 recognized dash underscore star methods of the recognizer class require an audio data argument. So we need to pass the audio data argument to these methods. In each case, audio data must be an instance of speech recognition's audio data class. So how we will do this, we will see in practical. To install this library, you need to open terminal and run this command pip install speech recognition. Now to use microphone, you need another additional library which is PyAudio. PyAudio version 0.2.11 plus is required, as earlier versions have non-memory management bugs when recording from microphone in certain situations. So if you not install this library, you will get an exception which is attribute error. And to install this PyAudio, you have to run the command pip install PyAudio. So we have studied the purpose of these libraries and all the requirements. I have given you the idea about all these things, and now we will see now we will develop this in practical. So let's start now. So I am creating a new file here, which is service.py. You can give any name to your file. Now first I am importing all the required modules and libraries which we will use in our program. So the first one is PyTTSX3 and second one is speech recognition. Third one is dead time, and fourth one is Wikipedia, and So in order to use these two libraries, you have to install these libraries by running these commands. And datetime library here used to get the datetime, and Wikipedia to search from Wikipedia, and web browser to open any link, any website in it. And this OS is used to interact with your operating system, and we will use random module for generating the random number. So these are extra libraries which will help to perform tasks. The main function is done by these two libraries. So first we will get a reference to our engine. I told you that for Windows we use Shapify to get those two voices, which is one for female and one for male. Now we will get those two voices from this engine. Now issue here. Now all set. Now I will open my terminal and I will go to the directory where I have saved this file. Now Python filename.py to run this file. It is working slow. Let's wait. Okay, see, we have David at index 0. So what we are doing here, voices, we are getting the list of voices. Engine.get property voices. It will return us a list of voices which is one for male and one for female. So at index 0 we have David, and if we check at index 1 and run this file again, now we have Zaira at index 1. So you can use any of the voice for your voice assistant. So comment this line. Now set your voice. So I am using the David's voice for this voice assistant. You can use anyone. Now we will write our first important method, which is speak. What this speak will do, it will take an string argument which is audio, and it will say this string, means it will speak the audio which we will provide. So engine.say method, and we will pass here audio, and engine dot run and wait. So it will run this engine and wait until this phrase completes which we have passed here. The string which we pass, until that completes, this will run. Now create your main function here. As main function is the first executable function in any program. So first we will check our speak method, that whether it is working or not. So see, it is speaking. Whichever string you will pass to this speak method, it will convert into speech and say the same string. Now we will write here wish me function to for the greeting message. Now here we will get the current R. So we will use the dead time module here to get the current R. So dead time and then get the dead time instance and then call dot now method. So it will give you the current date and then dot R. So this R is an integer. So it is in a 24R format. Now here we can use conditions. If R is greater than equal to 0. This 0 means 12 am and this 12 means 12 pm. If R is greater than 12 am and less than 12 pm, then we will speak good morning. If R is greater than equal to 12 and R is less than 18. Here 18 means 6 pm and 12, as I told you, 12 pm. Then we will speak good. We will speak good evening. So there we are creating our greeting message here, and then we will speak. So here in the main method, first call this method. Fetch me. Now run this file. So can you hear the voice of voice assistant, which is the voice of David? Can you hear? Hello.
No, sir.
No, for that you have to enable system audio. While sharing your screen, you have to enable the system audio.
Okay, okay. From where to open that?
From the
In
place
my
where you started sharing the screen, first of
yes.
all, close the screen share, and then once you are starting the screen share, there would be a toggle button for enable system audio at the top
Okay,
left corner.
okay,
You can choose it.
okay.
Did
Is
you
my
get the
screen?
button?
Yes, I have
Will you
included this
please increase the font size?
for command prompt or terminal or
Uh,
for this
the
editor.
code editor.
Okay, okay. So it's visible now.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Thanks.
Good afternoon. I am Jarvis, sir. Please tell me how may I help you?
Can you hear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So our speak method is working. Now we have to create a method which is take command and which will take our command and work accordingly. So let's create that method. So in order to record your voice, you need to install Pi Audio. If you do not install, then you will get the error. So as I told you that all of the magic is done by speech recognizer class. So here we need to create the recognizer class instance. Okay, here associate this library name SR. Now it is giving the suggestions. Okay, so you will initialize this with microphone. So microphone is our audio source. We are associating it a name source. So we are using microphone as our audio input to recognize the voice. Therefore, we have created the microphone instance. And now we will print listening. Now we will set some properties. Now what this pause threshold is means it can have a 1 second gap while speaking. When you are speaking, you can take a gap of 1 second, and if you take more, then it will stop. And then energy threshold. So 300 is a minimum audio energy to consider for recording. If you give here 500, then you have to speak more loudly, and the minimum value you can set is 300. So I am setting 300 here, and then we have this adjust for ambient noise source. Here we will pass our source and duration 1. So it was working fine for me with these properties, but after some time it was causing problems. So when I searched, so I find this solution that this method, which is adjust the energy threshold dynamically. It will adjust your energy threshold dynamically because sometimes you have environmental noises and background noises, so it fails to detect the voice. So that's why. And here duration is okay. I am going to here documentation, and you can see the duration parameter is the maximum number of seconds that it will dynamically adjust the threshold for before returning. So it will take 1 second to dynamically adjust your threshold and then return you. Okay, now move forward, and now we will get the audio data instance by calling the listen method. Now what this listen method will do, it will detect the voice from audio source and it will convert into the data object, and it will return it to us. As you can see here, here's the description: records a single phrase from source and audio source instance into an audio data instance, which it return. So it will and here our audio source is microphone, so it will detect the voice and convert into an audio data, and it will return it to us. Now while recording, you can have some exceptions where it can be failed to detect the voice, so use try and except block to avoid those exceptions. Now print recognizing, and here we will use the recognize dash Google Web Speech API to detect the voice. Okay, so all 7 methods are here which were in slides. So we will use this recognize dash Google underscore Google, and we will pass here source and language, and language will be in US. So it is a Google Web Speech API to detect your voice. Now print, use string formatting to print user said now call accept block here. So you can print the message here, but we will not print this. We will print instead and then here comes the recursion. So how this recursion works, I will tell you when I will write the code in main function. For now, just understand. Return query. We will use an infinite loop here. You can use any condition to exit your program, but for now I am using infinite loop, and we will take the query from user. Now how this take command will work. So first this take command will be executed, then we will create a recognizer instance here with microphone as our audio source. Then we have set some properties, pause threshold 1 and energy threshold 300, and we are listening from audio source and converting an audio data argument. And as I told you that okay, uh, here we have to pass the wait, I am coming. Wait, give me a minute, I am coming. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here we will pass our audio data argument, as we have studied in the slide that these methods will get the audio data argument. So here we are passing this, and whenever we get an exception here while recognizing the voice, so we will this block will be executed. So we will call this method again. We will print here say that again please if any exception occurs while detecting the voice. So we will call this method again and it will execute it again. Then again this method will be executed, and if again an exception occurs, then again this exception block will be executed and we will again call this method. So it works continuously and it takes the command from the user, and if it successful here, then it will return the query here, and if the exception block executed, then we will call this method again and we will return this query. Okay, so here you can give a condition if your name in query. So we are converting this to lowercase so that we can compare this with this string which we will provide here. So we will provide a lowercase string, that's why converting this into an lowercase. Then we can speak. So now run.
Good afternoon. I am Jarvis, sir. Please tell me how may I help you?
What's your name? What's your name?
I am Jarvis.
Okay, so it is working now. Now you can apply more conditions here. We will do more things now. If are you in query, then you can speak I am Jarvis working for Wakai. Now let's test this again.
Good afternoon. I am Jarvis, sir. Please tell me how may I help you?
Who are you? Who are you?
I am Jarvis working for Walkerby.
So it is working. So you can use your keywords here which you want in query and you can work accordingly. Now use here elif. Now let's do more things with this Jarvis, and you can use Wikipedia query. Then you will speak Wikipedia and you will place this keyword from the query. Let me write first, I will make you understand. Then we will get the results and we will search. So here we use Wikipedia module and we can get the summary and query and sentences. Sentences you want, you can pass here. So here we will get the 2 sentences. And now so if Wikipedia and query, then we will speak searching Wikipedia and we are replacing the Wikipedia keyword from our query because we will use this keyword in our string and we will pass that query here and we will get, we want 2 sentences, so that's why I pass here 2 and you can pass as many sentences as you want and then we will speak according to Wikipedia and then we will print results and then we will speak results. So let's test this now.
Good afternoon. I am Jarvis, sir. Please tell me how may I help you?
Shahid Afridi according to Wikipedia.
Searching Wikipedia.
Okay, it does not match any page, so it failed to detect Shahid Afridi. Let's run again.
Good afternoon. I am Jarvis, sir. Please tell me how may I help you?
Shahid Afridi according to Wikipedia. Shahid Afridi according to Wikipedia.
Searching Wikipedia. According to Wikipedia, Sahibzada Mohammad Shahid Khan Afridi, Urdu, Pashto, born March 1, 1975, chiefly known as Shahid Afridi, also referred to in the media as Boom Boom, is a Pakistani international cricketer and the former captain of the Pakistan national cricket team. As a successful all-rounder, Afridi was respected for his consistent bowling that relied on change of pace rather than spin, but he drew greater attention for his aggressive batting style.
So you can search anything from Wikipedia just giving an audio command. and you can anything you want to search, you can search from Wikipedia. Now if you want to open any website, you can also do this. Now here we will use web browser module to open the Google. So we will use web browser dot open, and here we will pass the website which you want to address of website which you want to open. Now let's check.
Good afternoon. I am Jarvis, sir. Please tell me how may I help you?
Open Google. Open Google. So see the it has launched the Google. So you can open any site you want. You have to just pass here a keyword and here a address of the website. Okay. Now let's do more things. If time in query, then we will get here time using the dead time module. Get the dead time instance. So now we'll return the current date and use the method strf time. So this the full form of this method is string for time, which means that it will convert the current date instance into the string, and we will pass here format. So %h is for hours and %m is for minutes, and then colon, and then % for the seconds. Now we will speak the time is, and we will give str time here. Close this, then run.
Good afternoon. I am Jarvis, sir. Please tell me how may I help you?
What's the time? What's the time?
Sir, the time is 17 hours 35 minutes and 56 seconds.
Telling us the time, and you can open any application, and let's do that also. So here you need to pass the path. And you can get the path of any application by right click on it, then go to properties, and here where this is target, copy this path and paste here, and you will need a / here. So use escape sequence, it will print. Okay, and now okay, this double backward slash means / it is a escape sequence, so you can print / by using this escape sequence. Use double backward slash everywhere. Now as I told you that our OS module will interact with our operating system, so we will start this file by calling the start file method, and we will pass here the code path. Now run this file.
Good afternoon. I am Jarvis, sir. Please tell me how may I help you?
Open code. open code. So see, it has opened the VS Code. So you can open any application. Now let's do more things. If you want to play a song, you can set a keyword here and then in query. If this keyword in query, you will give the code path first here. Now I have 3 songs here. I am copying this directory and I will paste here. Use double backward slash to print the forward slash. Now the list of files inside that directory. So you can use os.listdir and you can pass here this big dir. So it will this method listdir returns the list of files which is inside that directory. So we have 3 files here and it will return the 3 files. Now we want to start the file. So we will call the start file method and use os.path.join method. So path is the submodule of this OS module, and this join method joins the 2 paths with a separator, and that separator is forward slash. So first argument music directory, and here we will generate a random index. So I will make you understand this. First let me write this. Okay, so when we open the VS Code, we have given the path. So this path, then the file name and file extension. So here we are giving just the directory. Now for suppose if I want to play the first song, so what I will do, I will give 2 backward slashes here and file name then dot extension to open this file. So here we are getting the directory, and this join method will join 2 paths with a separator which is forward slash. So which means that a forward slash will come here after this, and inside these songs we have these 3 songs. At 01 we have this song, at 0 index we have this song, at 1 index we have this song, and at 2 index we have this song. So if I will write 0 here, which means the first song, but I am generating a random integer between 0 and 3. This 0 is included but the second argument is excluded, means it will generate the number 0, 2 and -1, and here n is 3, so it will generate random number from 0 to 2 and play the song randomly. So let's run the file now.
Good afternoon. I am Jarvis, sir. Please tell me how may I help you?
Play song. Let first change this to play. Now run once again.
Good afternoon. I am Jarvis, sir. Please tell me how may I help you?
Play song. Play song. Played. So you can also play a song using an audio command. Now you can calculator by using these audio commands. So you can speak at the number by taking input from the user. Here you will write enter first number and this input will return the string. Always returns a string. So convert this to float and similarly you will take the number 2. And store this number in num2 variable. Now you can speak the results and you can also print the results. So you can print sum is equal to you can also speak this. Okay, let's test this now.
Good afternoon. I am Jarvis, sir. Please tell me how may I help you?
Add two numbers.
Enter first no. Enter second no.
Oh, sorry. Here you have to call the speak method. Here write number. Now test this.
Good afternoon. I am Jarvis, sir. Please tell me how may I help you?
Add two numbers. Add two numbers.
Enter first number. Enter second number. The addition of 12.0 and 15.0 is 27.0.
So you can perform many operations like subtract, multiplication, division or anything, and you can open any website, you can open any application and you can search from Wikipedia, you can play a song. So you can do a lot of amazing things using this voice assistant, and I have created some basic tasks here which I have showed you, and this is all from my side, and if you have any questions you can ask. And I have also uploaded this PPT and file here with code you can get from here.
Can you show the GitHub address, please, back? Thank you.
You can do more things with this voice assistant. You can send emails using a dictionary by storing key value pairs and store the name in the key and value as the email and check that if the name in query then you can pass the subject message and you can send emails using voice commands. So you can do lot of things. Using this logic you can make amazing voice assistant.
Hello.
Yes.
So can you just once recap it